Hi, I'm Mark Green with the Oklahoman in Washington. Scottish officials are on the defensive after last week's decision to release the convicted bomber of Pan Am Flight 103 over the village of Lockerbie that killed 270 people, including 180 Americans, in December 1988. Families of victims and governments around the world reacted sharply to Abdelbaset al-Megrahi's release on grounds of compassion. There hasn't been this much attention given to Scotland since Mel Gibson released Braveheart. But unlike the film, the release of Megrahi is not endearing Scotland to the rest of the world. Scottish officials said the 57-year-old former Libyan intelligence officer, who had served about 8 years of a life sentence, has terminal prostate cancer. They decided to let him return to Libya, and all heck broke loose. First, Megrahi was greeted like a conquering hero at the airport in Tripoli. Then Libya's leader, Muammar Gaddafi, thanked British Prime Minister Gordon Brown and Queen Elizabeth for encouraging the Scottish government to free the bomber. Brown denied doing that, as well as reports the decision to release Megrahi was linked to greater access to Libya's oil and natural gas. Nearly 21 years after Flight 103 exploded at 31,000 feet and plummeted to the earth, feelings remain very, very strong. Most family members of victims, many of them U.S. college students returning home for the holidays, were mortified by Megrahi's release. Their pain was renewed, reinforced even. Whatever measure of closure the families got from Megrahi's conviction and imprisonment was lost with his release. Had they lived, those college kids would be in the prime of life now, with children of their own. MSNBC's Mike Barnicle told a story last week about a friend who lost a child in the Lockerbie bombing. Barnicle said that his friend told him that he died every single day, remembering the daughter who didn't make it home. Now Scottish and British officials have a new disaster on their hands. Scotland's First Minister told BBC Radio the government's decision had support in his country. He said the decision was consistent with a tradition of showing mercy to terminally ill inmates. Of course, that's mercy the Lockerbie victims weren't shown. They died horrible deaths as the airliner broke up and crashed. They deserve the mercy of remembrance. Unfortunately, Megrahi's release robs from that remembrance, and it may encourage future terrorists in some way. The episode opened an old, deep wound. Justice was done. Now it has been undone, and with it, a storm unleashed.